Right, so I'm actually going to go into the personalized chatting into a little bit more detail, because these are the two main things that you need to make sure that you can master to personalize your chatting. Right, first of all, why does this matter again? I know I just literally just spoke about this, but you need to think about every fan that you're talking to as if that fan's also talking to 10 other models, because they most likely are, okay? So you need to stand out, and the best way that we have found to do this is by voice notes, and like I said before, note taking. I can't speak today. Note taking, okay? So with the voice notes, again, they're all pre-recorded. We send all of our models all the voice notes that they need to send for any particular scenario, any kind of story that we find works well. They're already pre-recorded. We just send them across to our models, but this is how we use them, okay? So we use them at the start. If we want to start a conversation, right, this helps us take control of the convo flow, okay? There's nothing worse than like sending a huge mass message of just a conversation starter, like, hey man, how you doing? And no one replies. But a voice note, everyone's going to at least try and listen to that, right? At least they want to know what you're saying, because they don't know it's pre-recorded. Okay, so that immediately helps us take control of the convo flow, right? Transition, right? Again, from casual of hey, how you doing, to sexual, which is where we make the money. A voice note is an amazing way to do that, okay? Sexting, again, explicit to enhance the fan's experience. If a guy's already buying content and he's already loving it and all this good stuff, and you just send a voice note in there, you can actually charge for these voice notes. We're selling voice notes for like $100, $150, $200. I'll try and put some screenshots up if I've got any right now, but they work really well, especially when it's in the middle of a sexting script, because this is when the fan is the most impulsive, when they're gonna buy whatever it is, because they're so invested in the story that you are telling them. That's only going to be improved by voice notes. And aftercare, so this is after like a fan spent maybe 100, 200 on you. The aftercare is where the fan will leave with like a positive experience, because you have to also understand, right? Yeah, they might want to buy this content, but after they've bought it, they probably sat by themselves looking at the seed and just thinking, what have I just done? Yeah. But if you send them a voice note, that's like an aftercare, leaves the fan, you know, thinking, oh, she actually cares, she also had fun, or whatever it is, right? It just leaves the fan with a more positive experience of what he's just done. So he's going to be more likely to do it again and again and again, because he thinks you actually care about him, which we all know you don't, okay? Note, why can't I say note? Note taking, right? More info, the better. Like I said before, right? Name, job, age, location, all of this stuff you need to know, because then we can actually start personalizing voice notes based to your like, if you get to a point where you have like 10, 15, 20 whales, like some of our creators do, we find out, right, what are these whales actually all interested in, go into them into specifics. So John, for example, he spent 2K this week. Let's just make some voice notes just for him for these particular scenarios and these stories, these scripts, and that works insanely well. But that only happens if you actually take notes, right? If you don't track down or write down anywhere on Inflow or on OnlyFans or whatever CRM you use, you're not going to like get as much out of these fans, because they're just going to think it's just some every other model that he's already speaking to, because no one else remembers this stuff. So if you do send voice notes and you actually remember the stuff you talk about with these fans, you're going to stand out and you're going to make a lot more money in your chats from your fans.